It's Week 14 of the NFL, and we're going to look at the Penguin, Jalen Waddle. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Dolphins and the Pats, and it's coming up next.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now is where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they come in really scuffling, losers of 7 of their last 8 games.
And they've been an underachieving team, but they do have some pretty good pieces in place. Let's see if they can use some of the younger guys and make themselves better.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Right to the air is Rush. And his first look is incomplete. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
On second down, here's Rush. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, second down. You talk about this Miami defense. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Rush here on third down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So on fourth down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick, but I'm betting that he continues the streak in this game.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Tua once again here on 2nd and 10. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Miami. 65 yards.
That's how you put field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from an ideal position.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Hey, come on, two.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Play fake. Here's Rush. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. Now the rushing numbers for Stevenson from last week. 16 carries, a touchdown to go along with 124 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
Rush's throw here taken in by Gesicki. It'll go as a gain of 4. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Back to Stevenson on 1st down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. You talk about this Miami defense. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Yeah, they just held them to a field goal. So to them, That was an almost complete performance because, you know, when you really shut someone out, that's complete. But that's pretty darn good, isn't it?
22 yards there, a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That's nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Looking to pass. Tua. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and given the first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make the score 14-0. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. And now out come the Patriots. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, listen.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Third down and 13. Back to throw, rush. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
I'm not sure if they mentioned it as a goal during the week or even talked about it in pregame, but the way they're playing right now, they want this game out of reach by halftime. Not only does the safety just demoralize the opposing offense, now your guys can run out there and try to add another 6 to their lead.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Returnable now for Woodson. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at.
It's caught at the 10. It's a big play there for Miami. 62 yards. And that last throw is going to keep him climbing. Yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but The way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and a yard. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Tua. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. New England trying to get a place on offense. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Brian Brzee in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
It's almost closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And they will take over 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And all the way in for the Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said clicker.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. New England's offense set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. Let's put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Rush to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Rush. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the Dolphins with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep now here in Miami. A run straight ahead with H.M. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
Go ahead. Tell me one hard. Hard.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Dolphins just continue to roll. What a 1st half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. Well, let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. New England trying to get a place on offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, it's Stevenson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have widened the gap now to 50 points. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So the Patriots coming out now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rush working from the gun. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Setting up a screen for Stevenson. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. 2 and now on first down. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Patriots with the football here late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. But this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here's Bryce Behringer on now to punt. And take it right on the 30. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On first down, Tagovailoa. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Top. They're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Second and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. They'll let this go deep for Waddle. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
That's score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Pats going to get one final possession in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. Desmond Ridder with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head up to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He had a half for the ages. Touchdown pass after touchdown pass. He threw a month's worth of touchdowns in just those first 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Delay of game, offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Let's go. Hey, long. Solo left Zion.
Now Tua. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's a good piece of quarterbacking right there. Felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Patriots take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Now Rush. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
Shrugs it off. And stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Hey, come on, two.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year. And the Dolphins are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. A run here. just tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Well, they'd the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Turbo one, hard, turbo one.
They'll try to run this one in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. Nowhere close. Needed some inches. Losing yardage. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Patriots get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
49 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. Two yards to go, 2nd down. On the carry, it's Chestnut.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now HN on 1st and 10.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22.
All right, fellas, listen up.
They'll run with Chestnut.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Phillips. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the... Only a yard. There, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Patriots get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Throwing here, Rush. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. fouling out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense.
A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover.
Second down and 6 now.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
65 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A give, running right, H-in.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 3 quarters in the books.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 5.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
They'll run for it with H-in. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the
Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked in the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Rush to throw on 1st down.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd down, a throw coming from Rush.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
They go play action with Rush.
And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he fields it cleanly. He stiff arms him. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And out come the Dolphins now. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the 40 at the 38-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That is caught. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's one heck of a 3rd down conversion, a pickup of 39. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
2nd and 5.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because
Touchdown Dolphins! From 17 yards out, and the Dolphins are on their way to a sensational 13-0 start as they extend their lead here. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
And now out come the Patriots.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Here's Rush on second down.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Rush. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter.
2nd and 7.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, and complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Dolphins are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. New England's offense set to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board. And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 5.
Rush. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people...
Oh, that's... intercepted. Marcus Jones picks it.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to, and I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Rush's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Here's Rush to throw.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play.
Out of the shotgun, Rush.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
The kick by is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory. Polish it off here in quarter number 4. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to let it go again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now back to throw. The Pats are going. Down he goes. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Dolphins, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for New England, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.